Xin chào các bạn, hôm nay TecHland rất là vui mừng được đón tiếp CEO của Audiovector, ông Mark Clifford. Và hôm nay thì ông Mark Clifford sẽ giới thiệu đến chúng ta series mới nhất của Audiovector, dòng A-series. Đây cũng là dòng sản phẩm được mong chờ nhất trong năm 2020. Và để đầu tiên thì ông Mark Clifford sẽ giới thiệu qua một chút về bản thân cũng như là về phần lịch sử của Audiovector.
My name is Mark Clifford. I am the CEO and the owner of Audiovector from Copenhagen in Denmark. So Audiovector is a family-owned company, originally founded in 1979 by my father, Ole Clifford. So we have a 40-year-old heritage in making high-end audiophile speakers that are handmade in Denmark. I am in wonderful Hanoi. Again, thank you for having me at the TecHland showroom, which is always a pleasure. They are great ambassadors for our company. So we have a factory which is about 10 kilometers outside Copenhagen, where we have manufacturing, showroom and administration. We have about 2,000 square meters, so we're not a huge company, but we're very proud of being privately owned by myself and by my father, and we take great pride in making our speakers by hand. So, and I'm here to present the new R series, and here to present all the new improvements and all the new concepts that we have to offer our wonderful audiophile clients from Vietnam. Thank you.
Và sau đây thì Mark Clifford sẽ giới thiệu những ưu điểm vượt trội của dòng A-series, series đang được mong chờ nhất của năm 2020 này.
So I'm here to present the new R series, and with me here I have the new R1 already, and the R1 already is the top of the line in the R1 series. We present as well an R3 and R8, R subwoofer, and so on. So, but to give you a little bit, a few pointers about the new R series and why this is a very, very interesting product, we start with the tweeter. So the tweeter is an air motion transformer based on the 1970 Dr. Oscar Heil principle. So this is an air motion transformer which is open to the rear for greater dispersion, and this is a tweeter that moves no mass. So it's an easy tweeter to drive. It goes up to 52,000 hertz, which is way above what the human ear can actually hear. But in this case, excess performance is a good thing because it gives you everything you need and everything that the ear can actually accept. So we have a little bit of an acoustical lens, which is the small gold mesh here. This is an S-stop filter, so it takes away strong and unpleasant sibilants, T's and K's, and makes a smoother performance. So this tweeter is built by hand in Copenhagen by our craftsmen. Our craftsmen is great artisans. They are educated. Most of them are educated in building expensive luxury cars, making tools, working in wood. And when they come to us, they go through a 24 months education program in order to be able to build, for example, the R8 or the R3. So they start with the QR series and work their way up. So back to the R1. The base mid-range driver is 100% designed, engineered and owned by Audiovector. It is it's featuring a full carbon membrane, which is extremely light, dead and stiff. This is why you get so much performance. I think you see much more bass now, much more detail as well. Yeah. So it pushes the limits for what a 6.5-inch driver can do. So the full carbon weave is closed by a little bit of wood resin. As you see the glossy material, and this is to close it for any air or anything. Yeah. So the driver is ventilated to the front and is ventilated through the rear, so it has no pressure build up. It is built with a titanium construction in the voice coil, so we have no hysteresis or no other distortion of any kind. We have a very light magnesium chassis, which is connected to a ground filter as well. We have the ground pin here. This is the new Freedom concept, a concept which we have developed to give the noise floor one notch down. So we lower the noise floor and we take away any distortion caused by the moving driver. So when a driver is moving, it's gonna affect the chassis a little bit. So all these movements, we want to be able to take some of this away. So we actually succeeded to take 50% of all trance-induced movement away from the speaker. Back to the driver. The driver, we source the parts, we manufacture the parts, and then we send everything to ScanSpeak. So ScanSpeak builds it by hand for us in Denmark and returns it to us. Oh. And the reason we do this is that ScanSpeak is the best manufacturer of high-end drivers probably in the world. Yeah, exactly. And we have had a very long and very happy relationship with them so far. The new color I show you here is the Italian walnut. This is a real wood veneer. Any Audiovector speaker that has a wood veneer is real wood. We do not use any artificial wood or any plastic or anything. So this is an Italian walnut with a very, very thin matte lacquer. You can see it's almost like the surface has been oiled. But this is a very thin but very strong matte lacquer which goes down to the wood and gives the wood depth, a deep look. Yeah. We have a baffle rear and a baffle to the front, which is a very strong HDF material. It is then laminated, and it is after that lacquered in a original Audiovector color, which is a light gunmetal gray. Yeah. Terminals are 100% manufactured and developed by Audiovector, and these terminals you can only find in Audiovector speakers. The carbon plate you see here is the fascia plate or the crossover terminal plate. The crossover is just mounted just on the back. So we're working with short signal paths. Yes. And by it being full carbon, we have no affection or no hysteresis, no distortion from any metal. If we were to use an aluminum plate, which we do on more less expensive models, there's a little bit of distortion called hysteresis, a little bit like the bass driver. We have no hysteresis from the carbon plate. Wow. And we can measure an 8% improvement in the crossover part when we use full carbon. Oh. Yeah? So this is a little bit about the R1. The concepts that I've just explained is also in the R3 series. And the last thing is a little bit about the cabinet. We have a round cabinet to prevent standing waves. And this is the perfect acoustical form for any speaker. That also allows us to use very little damping material. So we have strategically placed damping plates, no wool, only in-house produced damping plates. We call it nanopore damping. It's very efficient, very finely penetrated foam, which we use very little of. So the less damping, the less loss of dynamics, because we like speed, we like dynamics, we like power. Oh yes. And it is important that an Audiovector speaker can play every genre of music. Thank you.
Hôm nay chúng tôi có mời đến anh Hoàng Cương, một người hâm mộ thương hiệu Audiovector ở Hà Nội. Và sau đây thì anh sẽ có một vài trao đổi ngắn với lại Mark Clifford về thương hiệu A-series mới này.
Hi, welcome to Hanoi.
Thank you very much.
I have some questions for you about R-series. Yes, I think this is a very new speaker from Audiovector. Yes. So the first thing I want to know is Audiovector is the only brand using grounding system on the speaker. So can you tell me how does the grounding system help improve the sound quality?
Yeah. The grounding system is something that we've been working on for a long time. So my father is the founder of the company, and 20 years ago he started experimenting with the grounding system. But the result that he got, he didn't think was enough improvement. So we decided 4 years ago to take the concept and work with it again. So we have now a grounding system that we call Freedom, and it's developed in-house, and basically it is taking care of the trans-induced motion distortion, which is caused by the moving drivers. We get to route this away through this cable. So this is the Freedom cable. This goes in to the Freedom plug, and this plug goes into your power conditioner, which is connected to ground, and only connecting the shuko. So these two power pins are not connected. This is 100% passive, but the ground you get from the shuko. So the cable does two things. It takes away the distortion, but it also adds ground to the drivers. So there's a ground pin in all drivers in the speakers. In this case, there's one driver. R3 has two drivers. R8 has two internally and three bass mid-range drivers. So they are all connected to ground. And inside every speaker there's a little grounding filter, so taking care of the circuit, the grounding circuit, taking care of adding the ground and then moving the distortion. So this is something that we're very proud of, and we are very happy that it's been received so positive all over the world.
So this system connect to the crossover before go to the driver?
No. This system has its own grounding circuit inside, which is working away from the crossover. This is only adding the ground to the chassis of the driver and taking the movement, the distortion of the movement of the membranes away.
I see. The second thing I want to know, the bass driver are all new?
They are brand new, they are developed for the R series. So when we developed the R8, which is the big one behind us, which is it is number 2 from the top, but is our newest super high-end speaker. We decided to develop a new bass and mid-range driver. New bass and mid-range drivers. They're not the same for mid-range as they are for bass. There's different roll and different measurements and different magnetic system. But we decided to develop it for R8, and they use it as a trickling down concept for the new R1 and R3. And basically what you see here is a full carbon membrane. Extremely light, extremely stiff, and sound dead. It is ventilated to the front and ventilated to the rear, so we do not build up any pressure. It has a very strong double magnet system on the back, magnesium basket, and a roll which has a little bit of neoprene in it. So don't worry, audiophiles of Vietnam, this will last many years, even in humid areas. So, but the advantage of the new driver is that it plays deeper bass, it plays more bass, but on the same time it's able to play even more detailed music, and when using the grounding system takes the noise floor down. Combining with the new driver and the new magnetic system, you have a very powerful combination. So I'm happy you like it.
So how long you improve this new bass driver?
We've been working for the new R series, the grounding system, for 4 years. The new R series just after the R8 came out, so this is about 24 months. We've been working on implementing all the new concepts we got from the R8 into the R1 and the R3.
The last thing I want to know is about the shape of the cabinet. So as I see, the cabinet of Audiovector speaker is so small, but it can create a very loud sound in comparison with many rivals in the same price. So can you tell us some secrets in the cabinet design?
Yes, I'll tell you all my secrets. So the cabinet for an Audiovector has been improved and developed, further developed for the last 20 years. We use a similar platform for the last 15 years, as you know, and by improving the cabinet, by improving the density, by improving the damping material, we get more and more efficiency and more power out of these small compact audiophile loudspeakers. So the cabinet is made from a hardwood MDF, which is not an MDF, it's an HDF. So it's the same way of manufacturing MDF, but you use hardwood instead of scrap wood. For this purpose, we have developed an acoustical glue, which makes the cabinet a little bit better with sound waves. So, and we also have a round cabinet which has no standing waves.
Yes.
So when you have no standing waves, you don't need to control with that much damping. So we use very little damping, thin damping plates which we manufacture ourselves, and which is patented by Audiovector, which is called nanopore damping. So very finely penetrated damping foam, and combined to a very high efficiency of 87.5 dB. Super efficient drivers.
Yes.
The air motion transformer, which has no mass to move. We get a very powerful speaker. That's not, it's not huge. But this is the product of development throughout 20 years. It's a little bit like a Porsche, the Porsche 911.
Yes.
They built the Porsche 911 many years ago, and since then they improved every time they launch a new one. We really like this way of working, and yeah, that's a concept of ours.
Okay, thank you for your sharing.
Of course,
Okay.
you're always welcome. Thank you for having me, TecHland in Hanoi. It's always a pleasure.